Good morning, entrepreneurs, and welcome to show number 138. I can't believe it's 138. Today is Friday, February 27th, 2026, and I'm your host, Kim White, and I am joined by the interview king himself, Adam Rothenberg. Adam, thank you for being here with me today.
Well, good morning, Kim. Good morning, everybody. I'm very excited to be here co-hosting with you and excited for what today's show has to bring. And Kim, I need to start off by telling you something because I'm like giddy with excitement. I am giddy with excitement because of the show Good Morning Entrepreneurs, because this is a show for entrepreneurs who are starting out or leveling up, and they want a simple way to sharpen how they think about their business. So I think that is a great reason to tune in to our show every week, because we love the simple around here.
We do. Simple sales. That's what I say.
It does. It does. Well, I one of the ways we make things simple around here is by going to one of our favorite places, which is Entrepreneur Land. So let's head over there and kick things off.
Entrepreneur Land is the land we live in around here, and we want to share some things today about our theme, which is creativity. And I have to confess something right out of the gate. When I thought about creativity, I did not think I was creative in any way. So I always would push back if somebody would say, "You're so creative." And I would think, what? I am not creative. I'm not artsy. I'm not, an artist of any kind. And then I realized it was because I was creative in my business. I actually made my business where it was the flavor that I was. So someone coming into our business is not, thinking, oh my goodness, why would I want to spend time with her whenever they were doing business with me? They needed to know who I was to begin with. And I think that creativity is very important for all of our businesses so that we can show up as the real us.
I think that's so important, to be your authentic self in your business, because that's what people want to see. They want to know that who they're seeing on camera or in person is who they're going to get off stage as well. And one of the things that's what I love about this community, is that I feel like everybody who is in it is truly who they say they are.
I agree, Adam. And when your business and marketing feel like you, it becomes easier to show up consistently. That's one of the things about business that's so important. And at the end, we are going to share one of the biggest killers of creativity. So stick around for that. We are definitely going to be sharing that. The Chronicles, our GME Chronicles that our very lovely Jill Olish does every week for us, is talking about our numbers, the things that we've accomplished. And it took a lot of creativity to put this Chronicles segment together, because we want to honor everyone in the community who's doing all these amazing things. We're not bragging. I want to make sure everybody knows we're not bragging. We're celebrating, and we want you to celebrate with us, because I hope you see things in the Chronicles that you can apply to your business creatively.
Thank you, Kim and team. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the GME Chronicles. My name is Jill Olish, and we have some updates for you today. The GME Chronicles is a celebration of moving the needle in our businesses, and we want to share these numbers out loud with you, not to show off, but to show what's possible when we come together in business. To catch you up, we had 4 classes with Kat in the Fit for Life Alliance community. Denise held the Keyword Finders Workshop, a place to uncover the keywords that will connect your customers using search engines. My Sexy Business held the Speaker Sheet Workshop, 1 session of Showtime Mastermind, the mastermind built with accountability and strategy to launch or level up your show, podcast, or live stream. making your process smoother, faster, and more impactful. There was also Website Royalty, the place to get your Kajabi website questions answered inside the My Sexy Business community. Rounds 37 and 38 of the Fire Up Mastermind, the mastermind for fierce leaders who are ready to serve hard, use irresistible, not creepy marketing, build relational businesses, and truly empower others. Plus, there was also Groundwork Brigade Mastermind, the Choose Your Own Adventure Business Mastermind with real-time strategy, tech help, and accountability. Donna posted a new blog, a little light, a little sound, a lot of impact, and My Sexy Business posted a new blog, the best step-by-step Kajabi journey for any entrepreneur. Kat and Yvonne hosted Salty Sisters live stream, talking about it's National Heart Month, wear red. My Sexy Business went live with Website Royalty Town Hall and show number 137 of Good Morning Entrepreneurs. Be sure to subscribe to the My Sexy Business YouTube channel so you're never missing an upcoming show or any new clips. Check out the SEO Day podcast, where host Denise Millay, your findability queen, dives into real SEO questions from entrepreneurs and dishes out simple, actionable tips to get you found faster by the customers already searching for you. Head to your favorite podcatcher to listen now, along with these podcasts: Sisters in Service, Late Bloomer Living, Buckets and Boom Gates, 5 and 15 Interviews Leadership Series, Bearing It All with Call Me Adam, Mama Outspoken, and Mucked Up My Self-Care. You can connect with the roving reporters through the GME directory. Head over to mysexybusiness.com/GME and you can connect with everyone there. This all brings our total to 19, making our grand total 7,316 amazing things done collectively by this community in just 4 years and counting. We look forward to more updates coming up next week. If you are ready to join in on the fun around here, you can find us in a little bit at the My Sexy Business Community Conversations Roundtable inside the My Sexy Business community. Plus, Denise will be holding on March 3rd her Keywords in Action workshop. It's a place to understand where to use your keywords for maximum impact for your business. And on March 4th, Yvonne will be hosting the Age Agitators Club gathering. It's bringing women together, ready to smash their midlife funk, share stories, cheer each other on, and take bold action to rock their next chapter. Plus, you can find us anywhere inside the My Sexy Business community in places like Website Royalty, Groundwork Brigade, and wherever you're watching now for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. Back to you in the GME studio.
Wow, those numbers. Cheers.
Cheers to the numbers for sure.
Incredible. And I do just want to remind everyone too, is that this is a way that you can celebrate your wins in your community as well, or in your business. And you can highlight what your clients are getting done too. So there's a lot of ways that the Chronicles can be used, like Kim said at the beginning, with it gives you ideas of what's possible for you in your business. And it could also be used as a way for a celebration. So many possibilities.
We celebrate around here because we know how important it is to keep that momentum going.
We do. And as entrepreneurs, we are always grateful for our clients and customers. And Kim, I want to know something from you. Do you ever wonder how you can creatively show appreciation for your clients and customers?
I am always looking for creative ways to celebrate because our clients, customers, our team, they are beyond just that. They are also dear relationships to me. So yes, the answer is yes, Adam.
Well, I'm glad that you do, because we're going to see what Donna Bender has to say about creatively celebrating your clients and customers in her segment of Surprise and Delight Marketing.
Top of the morning to you, Kim. This is Donna Bender coming to you today as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs Today's Surprise and Delight marketing segment is on showing appreciation to your clients and employees on yet another wacky themed holiday, St. Patty's Day. So here's a few ideas to make your clients feel like they have struck gold. Surprise and delight your clients with a good tin or pot of gold filled with gold foil chocolates or caramel popcorn. Always include a branded item so that when the goodies are gone, you still shine and remain top of mind. You can add a clever note that says, "We're lucky to have you as a client." A little thoughtfulness goes a long way. A thoughtful way to release stress is this plush and gel sensory experience. This stress toy was created to soothe, relax, and entertain. It is irresistibly super soft on the outside with flexible gel beads on the inside. The frog is a perfect size for squeezing, and I can share from personal experience, a hard thing to put down. The Green Appreciation Call. Call up a few clients and just say thank you. Tell them why you appreciate them. And if you want to take it a step further, invite them to go out for a green cup of coffee, because green isn't just for St. Patty's Day. It's also the color of growth. So as you gear up for St. Patty's Day, don't just leave it to luck. Always remember, surprising and delighting your clients makes them feel that they found the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Cheers to making gratitude a little bit more magical. Now back to you at the GME studio.
Oh my gosh, I absolutely love the way that Donna shows how you can make an impact with your clients by using a fun holiday like St. Patrick's Day to show them how much you appreciate them.
I want to tell a little behind the story or behind the scenes story about creativity and Donna, because Donna used her business as a series of tiny creativity experiments. She asked, "What if I tried it this way?" And I have to giggle because she learned from each experiment, not by judging it as good or bad, but by asking, "What did this show me?" to really create some magical spaces for all of us. Over time, these little experiments that she did revealed her style and what her people responded to. And the funny thing is, she's got serious strategy to get big marketing and branding results. But at the same time, she does it in costumes with fun. You don't even realize how much you're learning when you're hanging out with Donna. So I love that little tidbit of creativity behind the scenes, Adam.
Yes. And do you know how many times throughout the year when I see a holiday come up that I think of Donna and I think, oh, this would be a fun way to do something or show a picture or reminisce about something. I think it's, I mean, it's like 365 days a year that I'm thinking of Donna because of her creative ways in showing how you can appreciate your clients and customers.
It's very exciting to see what she has put together, because she has a monthly live stream where she puts that creativity to very good use, Adam, is what I'm going to say.
Yes, she does. She has the Big Show and Tell, which takes place the last Tuesday of every month. In fact, she just had her February Big Show and Tell a few days ago. So if you didn't get to watch it, or you want to watch it again because there was that pot of gold that you discovered, then go to her YouTube channel at Donna Bender Giving, and you can watch the replay. And while you're there, also hit the subscribe button so you get the reminders for when the next Big Show and Tell comes or any of the other clips she shares on her channel.
I love the Big Show and Tell.
Yes, me too. And another way that you can make an impact with your clients is by having a website that is easy to find and navigate through. And that is why, Kim, you and Denise Millay host Website Royalty Town Hall every Thursday.
So I want to just share a little behind the scenes with that too, because I think this is a creativity themed behind the scenes show. That's what I'm going to say. We tried to find a way to explain better what you can do with your business through the techie part of websites, building a community, doing all the emails, doing the things that we talk about in Website Royalty. So if you're listening and you have a business, which I'm sure you do, or wanting one, think about how you can tell stories, because we tell a lot of stories on Website Royalty short, and it's, for the point of sharing that we are like you watching. We understand the pain of business and the pain of website things and the pain that can come along with growing even. So I think if you try some stories, some analogies, some before and after moments with your audience, I think that's an important part. And that's literally what we're trying to do on Website Royalty. We're trying to let you see the different ways that we can say the same thing, but maybe it lands differently each week. Maybe it lands in a different way because we don't think you have to struggle alone with those techie things. So creativity helps people, our people, get it because you're not using stiff, like techie jargon. So I think it's important to note that Website Royalty is, we are bringing to the table the questions we're getting inside the private group. We're bringing those out loud and trying to help people get unstuck.
Yes. And the other thing I love about Website Royalty, Kim, is that you and Denise also show brief demonstrations on how to use the platform. So you're going to get real help and, like you just said, answers to questions that you have. You can submit questions and get them answered. So Website Royalty is every Thursday, 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on the My Sexy Business Team YouTube channel. So make sure you, wherever you're watching GME, make sure you're subscribing because you'll get the notification to remind you about Website Royalty.
Join us. We'd be happy for you to be with us.
And speaking of Denise, she is a great resource for how you can creatively be more findable online. So let's find out what the findability queen has to say this week in helping entrepreneurs be findable online.
So which SEO metrics are important to track?
For me, it is on your website, visitors to your website. From search, you can identify in some of the Google tools, Google Search Console will tell you the source of your traffic coming from search, and that's helpful. There's also, it tells you about your pages and your content pieces on your website to see if they're being included in the catalog properly, if there are any errors or there's any problems. Those are very, very important things. But it's visitors that I think is the most important when you're first starting out.
Oh my gosh, I love what Denise has shared about the various tools you can use to get some analytic insights to find out how many visitors you have, where they're coming from. Denise shares so many more tips on her podcast, SEO Day, which releases every Tuesday. Denise always says, make Tuesday your SEO day. And the great thing about Denise's podcast is that she answers real life questions that listeners submit to her about SEO. And the episodes are designed so you can listen along and implement the things that Denise is talking about as you are listening.
I think it's exciting because Denise answers questions that, maybe you're intimidated to ask somebody else. Denise is very approachable. Let me say that. She's very wonderful. And when you're asking those questions, I'm going to pull it back to creativity again. She gives you ways to be creative in small doses so that way you can actually implement it. If somebody told us all Denise knows, we'd have to lay down and take a nap because she is brilliant. And she's sharing that brilliance in small implementation ways.
100% agree. And while we're on the topic of sitting and listening to podcasts, I often wonder, how do we counteract all of that tenseness we get in our bodies from sitting so long? So I can't wait to see what Kat Crociato has to say in her health and wellness for entrepreneurs segments.
Thanks, Kim. Here is another stretch you can do up out of your chair, of course, and it's going to help you open your chest a little bit more. So what I want you to do is place one elbow on the wall, palm facing the wall. Your shoulder is not up in your ear, but down your back. I want you to take your opposite leg, your outside leg, and just step forward and feel the stretch on that side. If you need a little bit more, you can actually turn your head, turn your entire body away from your elbow on the wall and feel a bigger stretch. Bring it back to center. Both feet come together. Take your arm down. Please do that on both sides. And I hope that helps. So until next time, back to you in the GME studio.
Kim, I'm gonna say the green room. We need a wall to input it. I had to create an imaginary wall to do this stretch. So, when we when we look at the budget for next year, we have to include that into the up level of the green room.
Note taken.
Thank you. But I have to say, on a serious note, Kat's stretches are always so helpful, and I always feel an instant relief when I do her stretches during the show. And Kat has so many stretches and exercises to help us keep moving and keep us flexible. And an amazing way that Kat does that, or I'll say a creative way that Kat does that, is with her Keep It Moving 11-minute fitness challenge. Now, Kat's 11-minute fitness challenge is wrapping up tonight. Tonight is the last night. So if you didn't get to participate in this week's challenge, you still want to go to Kat's website, because you can sign up to be notified when the next challenge is going to take place. And what I love so much about Kat's challenges is that in 11 minutes, you really get to, you realize how much you get to work your body, and it doesn't take a lot of time. So if you go to Kat's website, smallspacepilates.com, and you click on the hello bar at the top of the screen where it said the 11-minute challenge, it takes you to this landing page here. And as you scroll down, you'll get some information on the challenge, and then you'll be able to sign up right on the page and click yes, sign me up. So you'll be notified for the next challenge.
I think this is a great example of a creative solution, because Kat believes that everyone has a right to feel good in their bodies. And she came up with this so that people like me, I'm going to say, are willing to start. Because if you tell me I'm going to have to start with an hour a day, it's going to be really hard for me to choose that. But if you tell me I can do this in 11 minutes, it's going to get me started feeling better. And that's what Kat, her mission is, to help all of us feel better. So that is exciting. And Kat, thank you for the challenge, and thank you for being you. You are a creative.
Yes. And it is a full body. In 11 minutes, you get a full body workout. So it's not like you're just going to work on one part of your body in those 11 minutes. You're going to get it from head to toe. And there's actually we have another creative way to keep things moving. And that is by watching today's segment of Entrepreneurship Later in Life with Yvonne Marchese, because she is going to break down some entrepreneurial myths for us.
Ooh.
Thanks, Kim. This is Yvonne Marchese coming to you as a roving reporter for Good Morning Entrepreneurs. I'm your resident age agitator, here to talk about later in life entrepreneurship. There's a huge myth about entrepreneurship that younger is better. We've all seen the 30 and under 30 lists, right? But here's the truth. Midlife entrepreneurs have a really powerful advantage: experience. You've seen patterns, you've navigated change, you know what matters and what doesn't. And yet, somewhere along the way, many of us forgot how to play or be playful. We get serious, we get responsible. We start thinking business has to look a certain way. But here's the opportunity that comes with getting older. You're no longer driven by the need to prove yourself, and with that comes freedom. It's powerful. What if you used it to be more playful in your approach to business, to experiment more, to take creative risks, to build something that actually fits you? When you combine experience and play, that's where innovation lies. This isn't about starting over, it's about starting wiser and giving yourself permission to enjoy the process. That's all for now. Back to you in the GME studio.
Oh my gosh, Kim, I absolutely love what Yvonne had to say about the advantages of becoming an entrepreneur later in life, because you really do have that experience that you may not have had when you were younger. And Yvonne and I just had this conversation the other day when we were in our accountability session. And I had said something about when I interviewed someone years ago, I wish I had the foresight to combine the project they were doing with what they were really known for. And I started to really get down on myself. And Yvonne was like, but you didn't know that then. And now you have that experience and you can bring that fun and that creative way of asking somebody into your work. So Yvonne is spot on with why being an older entrepreneur has its advantages.
That's right. And we're not down on the youngers. We're just wanting to make sure us olders, I'll call us, are realizing what we bring to the table.
Yes. And Yvonne has such amazing conversations with older entrepreneurs on her podcast, Late Bloomer Living. She has so many inspirational and creative conversations with the older entrepreneurs that you really can get a lot of great information on things that have helped them that as a younger entrepreneur, you can then start applying to your business. So it's her podcast appeals. I feel like it appeals to everybody because the older entrepreneurs can get inspired that it's not too late to start something. The younger entrepreneurs can get information that could help them at that moment and gives them also a little look into the future of what is to come. So I think everybody should be tuning into Yvonne's podcast.
I agree. Such wisdom.
Yes.
There's a lot of wisdom, and her guests do too.
Yes. And the other thing I admire about Yvonne is the way that she has fostered her own community. Community is very important on your entrepreneurial journey because it gives you a place to get support. And we have lots of ways here in the My Sexy Business community that are free to help you along your journey. And we invite you to check us out to see if we're your flavor. So we want to let everybody know how you can become part of the My Sexy Business community. If you go to our website, mysexybusiness.com, and it's coming up on this. It's not. Wait, we can't see it on the screen.
We just have to share it. There you go.
We do have to share it. There we go. So if you go to our website, mysexybusiness.com, and you scroll down to MSB Community, Home for Entrepreneurs, and you click on the tile there, it will take you to our community page, and it will give you information about the My Sexy Business community. And it also lets you know about some of the free events that we have coming up, and it gives you information about our community leaders and, of course, our guidelines. So right off the bat, you'll get an idea whether or not we're going to be your flavor. And if you feel like we are, click the I want to check out the community button and sign up and come join us at a free event. We'd love to meet you and get to know you better.
The community's free. We have paid spaces inside that, you can opt in or opt out, doesn't matter. But the free part, it's very exciting to see the brainstorming and the creative, things that come out of the relationships in the community.
Yes, 100%.
Well, you're tuning into Good Morning Entrepreneurs, show number 138. Today's theme is creativity, if you haven't already figured that out today. But if you want to connect to the roving reporters who are all bringing their creative wonderfulness to the show today, I want you to know that you have an easy button. We actually have a QR code that you can catch the roving reporters and connect with them. I think it's a really big deal that you find real humans in an age of, artificial everything. we are still real people, and I love that you can go and connect with them. So thank you for being here with us today, and I hope you subscribe to all the channels, but I do hope you click the QR code. And for anyone who doesn't know how to do the QR code, if you take your camera on your phone and you put it up to the screen, it actually will give you the little link to click, and that's how you can get the easy button.
And we certainly look forward to meeting you. So, Kim, you know what I was just thinking about Good Morning Entrepreneurs, in addition to all the connections we get to make. But one of the things that I really love about the show is all the creative questions we get submitted each week from viewers. Mm-hmm. So this week's question is, how do I draw people to my business?
I think this is a very sexy question and it's a good question, because you don't want to be chasing people. I think that's one of the things about a sexy business that I want to make a stand here and say out loud, is that if you're having to chase people, you do not have your business set up in a great way. You don't have to chase people. So if you're looking to draw them to you, I feel like you're already on track with this question, that you're understanding there's a way to draw people. So how can you draw them? Are you going to do some buzz marketing where you share some fun things that they want to be a part of? Are you going to do some curiosity marketing where they're curious about what's going on and they want to know more? Being you and being that creative you, and that doesn't mean artsy, again, I got to remind you, can be, but I'm not an artist, but I am creative and I show up, who I am. And that's how you draw the right people. You don't want to draw a million wrong people. That will be such a headache, I'm going to warn you. But if you draw the right people by being you and having conversations, we've had that as a theme recently, the connections, the conversations you have, but drawing people to you because they genuinely like who you are.
Kim, I 100% agree with you about being your authentic self. We talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the show, and I agree that if you are who you say you are, people will be drawn to you. And I also think another way to draw people to your business is by offering something that is just a little bit different than what other people in your industry are offering. Mm-hmm. For example, there's a lot of people in my industry that interview artists and celebrities, but I think it's the way we each approach our interviews and the kinds of questions each of us asks that makes us unique. So I think you just have to find what makes you unique and different from your competition, even if you're offering the same kind of service. That will also draw people to you.
Agreed, Adam. Well, I want to say that you are so amazing at doing so many things in a different way. Let's talk about that for a second. You do things with your authentic self, but you do offer a different kind of interview. That is an important thing to note. And speaking of interviews, let's go back to 2016. This is one of my favorite interviews you have done, when you got to chat with Scary Spice herself, Mel B, from the Spice Girls, which I love the Spice Girls. She was about to go into the Broadway musical Chicago, and Adam had a conversation with her, and I can't wait to see what you share today, Adam.
Thanks, Kim. It's Adam. And for today's Entrepreneurs in Entertainment segment, I wanted to share an excerpt from my 2016 interview with one of my entertainment idols, Mel B, who is getting ready to return to Broadway in the Tony Award-winning revival of Chicago. You know Mel B from being a judge on America's Got Talent, and of course, as her alter ego, Scary Spice, from the Spice Girls, who are one of the all-time best-selling girl groups. In this clip, I hope every parent finds comfort from what Mel B had to say about trying to balance family and a demanding career. And I also hope it serves as an inspiration for the many ways that you can balance family and a demanding career as well.
And one of the other songs you sing is Me and My Baby.
Yeah.
So as a mother yourself, how do you balance your career, because it's quite a demanding career, and motherhood, and what advice would you give to other mothers and working mothers?
Well, I'm not one to give advice. I just go by how I live my life. And, as a working mum, you can feel very guilty and you don't always get that balance as in spreading out your time correct every week or right every week. But, I'm lucky enough where I can bring my kids to work with me so they see where I'm at work. So if I've been gone for 10 hours rehearsing, they're like, oh, I remember where Mum is working today. And, I'm lucky enough I get to work all over the world.
Yes.
And I get to bring my kids with me all over the world. So I feel very fortunate about that. But I'm a worker. I love to work. I love earning my own money. I love being involved in great, amazing projects. And I like, giving. I like being out there, being crazy and sassy, I guess.
Well, we love it too.
And that is today's Entrepreneurs in Entertainment segment. It's back to you in the GME studio.
That is a different view than we get to see most of the time, and I love it, Adam.
Oh my God, that was such a fun time to get to speak to Mel B. And I know I'm going to be sharing some other clips of hers in the upcoming shows, so I can't wait to show everybody all the different sides to Mel B.
We can't wait to see them. I'll just say that. Adam's entertainment platform is called callmeadam.com. And Adam, I think it's exciting to see what you have put up here for interviews. I said entrepreneurs, but I meant interviews. If you go to the top and click interviews, you can see all kinds of people that you're going to recognize. Adam is a well-known celebrity interviewer, and he knows everyone in the whole world. We have decided it's easier to list the people he doesn't know than the ones he does. So, Adam, I love your interviews that you do. You've had over 3 million visitors, which is an incredible amount in the last 3 years. You also have given us a place to escape. Sometimes entrepreneurs need to have some disruptor and go and escape for a minute. So you have given us that ability too. But go to callmeadam.com and check out the interviews.
And one of the things I love about interviews is that so many podcasts offer interviews. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people actually want to start a podcast, but they're scared. I mean, I know I was scared before I started my podcast, but luckily Jill Olish is here to show you what you do have going for you in her Mama Entrepreneur segments.
Thanks, Kim. When I first started podcasting, it was definitely feeling more like a hobby than something that would impact me and help me find more ability to be outspoken, to find my voice. And I think motherhood can make us feel like our voice gets lost underneath all the other things that are going on and everyone else's needs. And we can kind of lose ourselves in that. For me, podcasting gave me a place to process, share, and speak up about the things going on in my life. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to have lived this. You're lived what you have going on, to be honest. My husband and I, we are not parenting experts. We are learning how to parent at the same time as each other. And we have great conversations, working out a lot of stuff. It can help us speak up and help us communicate better. In reality, it has allowed us to grow together as parents and as husband and wife. So when you do decide, because it is not something you need to do as an entrepreneur or a mother, podcasting, but it could be an outlet for you to really practice. And when you find your voice again, you actually end up helping others find their voice too. And that's what we hope. Back to you in the GME studio.
Okay. I agree with what Jill had to say, is that you just have to start and talk about your experience. And I think that podcasting is a very creative way for you to share with everybody what experiences you have had. It's like Mel B was saying, she doesn't give advice. She can just go on her experience. And Jill tapped into that perfectly in her segment today. And Jill does a great job on her podcast, Mama Outspoken, that she does host with her husband, Bobby, they share real life experience of what it's like to raise a family together and all that goes into navigating family time and work. And I'm so happy that Jill has found a creative outlet to share her experience with her podcast.
You can catch it on all the podcatchers. Go and find it and subscribe, follow the show so that you don't miss out on new episodes. Mama Outspoken.
Yes. And podcasting can be so much fun, but every podcaster encounters a moment of, I don't know what to do, or they get stuck. And what do you do in those moments? Thankfully, we have Kat Crociato with us because in this week's Military Minute, which is sponsored by Kat's podcast, Sisters in Service, Kat talks about this other side of podcasting, of what happens when you do get stuck.
You rock. You rock in life. You rock in business. You're amazing. Is there anything you want to say to a podcaster who maybe they're struggling?
Take a break. Take a breath. Figure out where you're stuck. Figure it out. And then if you don't know the answer, once you figure out the question to your, that you want to ask and you don't know the answer, ask someone who's been podcasting. There's lots of podcasting groups, and you might have to ask the question, I don't know, 7 times before you get an answer where you go, oh, because every podcaster is different. Everyone does a podcast, but their systems are different. Where they podcast, what platform do they podcast on? And you say, oh, should I do this one or this one? I don't know. Do one and then do the other and figure out which one you like the best. That's what I had to do, is figure out which one. I've been through a lot of podcasting, setups. And even as I've gone through this whole journey, I've had to tweak things. I've changed some things because I didn't like how they worked at that time. And then you get into a flow. Don't quit. Ask questions. Get the answer that resonates with you. And if you're stuck between A and B, do one, then do the other, and pick the one that you like the best.
I think Kat brings up a great point about the ways that you can get your answers to when you're stuck with your podcast. And I also think that's one of the advantages of having a community. We talked a little bit earlier in the show about why it's so great to have a community. And that is one of the reasons, because you have a place to go to get your questions answered. I mean, I know Kat and I are in a competition of who can ask the most questions, but thankfully we have that place that we can ask questions. And there are plenty of times she and I have asked the same question over and over again, because you always say, Kim, ask until you're clear.
Sometimes when you're asking a question, and I just want to put this out there, is you guys showed that cover art for Kat's podcast. When you're, asking questions, sometimes you ask the question you know how to ask in the beginning, and then later you start getting better questions because you are understanding more. So never be embarrassed. Never, ever be embarrassed by asking questions. Do you all have the cover art for Sisters in Service?
Oh, I think so, yes.
I'd just like to show, because Kat's not afraid to ask. Kat is someone who, that's one of the things I appreciate so much about her, is she is not afraid to ask. And, her podcast, she's got more than 200 episodes. She knows what she's talking about. She just made a big leap to change where her podcast is hosted. And I think that is also a creativity and courage thing. When you're that many episodes in, it can be scary to move from one podcatcher to another or one host to another. But Kat did that, and in 1 week's time, I'm gonna spill the tea. In 1 week's time, she got an additional 1,453 listens and downloads in 1 week from changing her old platform to the Kajabi platform. So I believe in the all-in-one product of Kajabi, the platform, and Kat saw some great and amazing results. So I am just putting it out there. Kat may kill me for like spilling the tea, but I think it's very exciting. And that Kat is one of the reasons, like Kat and the other royals inside of Website Royalty are the reason that Denise and I are trying to creatively answer questions in the Website Royalty Town Hall. We're doing our best to share the things that are going on so that other people can also get amazing results like that. So I think creativity brought a lot of that on, because when you first start podcasting, you first start live streaming, you first start business, you don't even know what creativity you can have because you're just trying to like figure it out. So I am very excited that Kat shared, the other side of podcasting, and Jill talked about it. So come to Website Royalty with any of your techie podcast hosting, any of that stuff. We're trying to answer those things in the town hall every week. So.
And can I just add one thing about Website Royalty? Because there is also there's the live stream every Thursday, the town hall that you and Denise host, but there's also the private group of Website Royalty. And one of the great things was in that private group was where you could get the help. Like that's where Kat got the help to move her podcast from one platform to Kajabi. So it's just you and Denise have this great creative way to help all of us with our website questions. So we're very grateful that you have the Website Royalty Town Hall so you can demonstrate to so many people, but you also have the private group where you could really get that in-depth assistance as well. Hands-on, I should say. That was not the right vocabulary word. It was hands-on experience that I was trying to say.
The live meetups are very exciting. They're weekly as well. So you don't stay stuck when you get in Website Royalty land, I'll call it.
Exactly.
You don't stay stuck.
No, you don't. And another place actually that you don't stay stuck and you can get answers to is in our next segment, which is Princess Speak, which is sponsored by the My Sexy Business team and community. So let's head over there to go into Princess Speak.
Princess Speak is the simple business language for entrepreneurs and business owners that we use in our community on the daily. It is just common language is what I'm going to call it, that we use so that we don't have to impress anyone else with all we know. But today's princess phrase, and you guys hold on, buckle up, because it may sound a little, a little sexy, but we believe around here in the lover method of doing business. So when you're marketing your business or you're doing business, if you'll take the letters L, V, and R and keep them in mind. So that's your lover. The L is for listeners. How are you supporting your business by helping listeners? So that is the podcasting things that we were talking about. It is all the audio things. The V in there is viewers. We're trying to meet the need of those watching by doing shows like GME or doing the live stream that we do, Denise and I do, or the things that you can actually view. And then there's the R, and that's the readers. How is your business supporting the readers to find you? That may be blogs and emails, maybe your book. All three of those are really important in your business to be able to connect and have relationships that build your business. So Lover, Lover, Lover method is the way to do it. And I will say, I think that's a pretty creative solution for your business.
Oh my gosh, Kim, this is my favorite explanation of a method, because I really, coming into the show today, I did not know what Lover method was. So thank you for explaining it so well. And I do feel like everybody in the My Sexy Business community, I actually feel like now that I know what the Lover method is, I feel like we actually all apply it to everything we do, because we all have podcasts, we all have visuals, videos that we show, and we all have websites or books that you can read. And I love that it does tap into all the different kind of learning styles out there for your clients and customers. So it's a very creative way to attract everybody and make your site and products accessible to everybody.
Thank you, Adam.
Adam, I'm the same as you. When I rolled in this morning, I was like, what is the Lover method? Trying to rack my brain. I'm like, I know we've talked about this in the past. And yes, we have, because this has been one of the best ways for not just us to understand how to provide or to even just put our message out there for others to understand, but it's a way for us to really build our business well too, and share what it is that we want to get across, that message wise. Like you said, Adam, it hits on all the different types of learning for someone. Most of us learn a very specific way, and maybe not in another particular way, but it doesn't mean we have to do all three at the same time. It allows us to build to be able to do those things by some of the other things we've talked about in Princess Speak, like stacking and batching, and utilize some of the other processes that we've talked about also to grow into having all three ways someone can receive pieces of our message and our business.
Thank you, Jill.
I love everything that everyone has said thus far. I think when I think about the Lover method, as a person, I do all of those. It helps to reiterate everything. If I listen to it and then I read it and then I hear it and view it or what, and I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. But as a business owner, you forget that other people, how they learn, and you think, oh, this is a great podcast. And you're like, well, why isn't anybody listening to it? Maybe somebody needs to read the transcript or the blog that goes with it. And they go, oh, and maybe they'll go back to the podcast and listen. So this has been a learning curve for me. But I'm going to definitely turn up the Lover in me, the LVR that is.
I love that, Kat. Very sexy.
Oh my goodness, Kat, you definitely hit the nail on the head. I think I want to say about this is that sometimes we make assumptions when we're business owners that we're trying to find people like us, and what we prefer is what they prefer. And that's a risky thing. So I think what the Lover method does is it reminds you that everybody has something that they prefer. And no matter who you're trying to reach, there's always going to be a mix of people that prefer a different method. And it harms no one for you to provide things in different ways. It hurts you and them if you choose just one. So that's my recommendations.
So agree with you, Denise.
And Kim, could I ask you a question about the Lover method?
You most certainly can.
Not to challenge it, but could you also do the LVR for listening to what your clients and customers want, and visual what they want to see, and the R with read what they want to read? Is that another way to interpret the Lover method?
It is, because the bottom line is if you're loving on your clients and you're loving on your customers and you're loving on your team, you're building a relationship. And we are a relational business. We're not only transactional. I think that that's an important part. If you want a long-term, sexy, nostalgic, like business, which is what my sexy business is, it is loving on other people, being kind to other people, being generous with other people. We do a lot of free events in our community because we are loving on people to let them know, hey, we're here. They chase us, we don't chase them. And I think that that's another part of the lever method. You learn to do that, you become known for your generosity. You become known for your, actually having a relationship, and the relationship is higher priority than the transaction is. People love real. That is real. So I am going to keep my word from the beginning of the show, and I'm going to tell you one of the biggest killers of creativity is actually being reactionary, being reactive, waiting till something bad happens and then trying to figure it out. Now, we are creative problem solvers around here. Sometimes you don't see a problem coming. I get that. But when you spend your life trying to support your business and you spend your life reacting to everything because you're not making a plan and sticking to it, you're not doing some of the things that, like the process of sticking to time that we do, when you're doing that, it actually kills your creativity. Because think about when you feel behind. You feel like there's just no way to catch up. Well, it closes you off to the creative things that could be the solution to whatever that problem is. So I do have a little action item, a little challenge, and I wish we had a noise. We're looking for a noise to put with the challenge, but we do want to give you a creativity challenge today to do. Today. Did you hear that part? It's for today, not later, today. So this is not about being artsy or perfect. You got to throw those things out the window in your mind. If that's stopping you, don't let that stop you. It's about letting a little more you show up in your business. So how can you do that? I want you to pick one piece of content for today. Remember, not later, today. I want you to try a social post with more of you, being vulnerable, being open, being real. Maybe an email. Maybe you share a personal something that would help those on your email list. Maybe you do a reel or a short where you video yourself, and it's scary, y'all. I get it. But that's how people get to know you. So add one creative twist that feels fun for you. So tell a little story, use a simple before or after, whatever it is, hit publish, even if it feels a little stretchy to you. No extra polishing, no overthinking. Your only job is to let one more tiny piece of your real voice or your real style show up. That's it. One post, one creative twist, published. That will give you the evidence you need to do it again. It will help you practice showing more of you in your business and your marketing. And when you see that, all of a sudden other people are seeing it a different way. It's easier, y'all, to show up. No drama, no heavy, just be you. So we hope, sweet viewer, you're understanding the lever method and being creative today. We love that you're here watching with us. And we thank you. Subscribe so you can get more of this. Love y'all. We'll see you next week.
Join us next Friday at 7 a.m. Central.
This is the team signing off for Good Morning Entrepreneurs.